Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. So just wanted to talk to you briefly about a few things, a few questions about our time working together and your experience with us. So if you could just start with introducing yourself,
Okay.
what you do, and talk a little bit about your company.
Okay. My name is Laura Lauri Padrino. Corredoira is my married name. And I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing. Who am I? I'm part of the third generation of Padrino's Cuban restaurants. We have 5 locations across South Florida.
Before we started working together, what was going on with the business? Like, what made you guys seek for support in marketing?
We have had multiple social media managers in the past, but we needed something more comprehensive that was taking care of all of marketing. At the time, it was in 2020, so there was a ton going on pandemic-wise and with restaurant closures and reopening and dine-in and takeout and all this. So we definitely needed more support. And also being as busy as we were with all the challenges operationally, I needed help and support for somebody to assist me with all the marketing needs that we had at the time.
You worked with different companies before. How many companies did you work with before?
I believe it was 5 before we started with you.
All right, and what were the challenges that you guys were facing at the time when we started working together?
So specifically in our Dania Beach location, we had just opened in 2019. A year later, pandemic happens, and we were only allowed to be takeout, and the takeout was just not enough to sustain, so we did have to fully close this location. Then when we reopened, it was as if we were reopening, but without all the marketing and PR that we had the first time. And so we just needed a lot of assistance and support, letting people know, the people of Dania know that we were open and reopened. It's a new shopping center, so it was just getting the word out that we were here.
What were some of the things that we put in place for you, that we implemented, that you've seen results with that help you guys?
I remember immediately the first time that you came by, and we went to all the locations, but when we came here to the Dania location, immediately you mentioned putting in an awning and how that would help with visibility in terms of like people driving by and just our storefront appearance. It took a while because of permitting and everything, but we finally got our awning up, and I do believe that helped and that contributed a lot to the growth in sales that we have seen here.
So in terms of things that we've done for you guys that we've implemented, what are some of those things, if you can speak to?
So what we've always had, so long as you came on, was a specific strategy. We had a calendar. There was always a plan, and that we've executed with specific goals in place, and there has always been also just metrics, and after the fact we can analyze what we've done to make sure that these things have worked. With previous companies, it's kind of just been, let's just shoot our shot, see what we get out of it, and then out of it we haven't even been able to tell because there's no metrics in place. So what we've done together, what you've done, what you've implemented, is really a strategic plan with set goals, and then actually achieve those goals with outcomes that we can analyze. And
How long have you been working together for now?
so I want to say we started October of 2020.
Yeah.
October 2020, so it's almost been 2 years now.
Wow. And
Wow.
yeah, it's been a while. So what do you think has made you guys your decision to keep working with us, and what was your experience prior with other agencies, in working with them?
In 3 years, we had like 5 different companies. So there was a lot of inconsistency. It was people, again, goals and promises like that were never kept. And we stuck around with you for 2 years and plan to continue that way for as long as possible. Because there's been an idea, a plan, execution, metrics, and meeting of goals. With other companies, when I would interview them and before I took them on, it was, okay, how can all these things that you plan to implement, how can I actually see a return? Like, is there actually a way that we can see what you're doing, that it actually works? And a lot of them would flat out say, there's just no way to track it. That's not something that's measurable. That's just impossible in the world of marketing and social. And that was obviously very disheartening because I don't want to pay for somebody that they can't even show me what they're doing. With Breath, it's been completely different because from the beginning, you've given clear goals and then shown after how we've achieved those goals. So yeah, just night and day, worlds different, working with you as opposed to the ones that I've worked with in the past.
Do you think that having a specific experience in restaurants, like our company does, do you think that has also helped you guys in some ways? How has that made your life easier?
Absolutely. So working with a company that does marketing but has specific restaurant experience, it's very different than just general marketing or general, again, what I worked with in the past was social media managers. It's not all created equal. Restaurants are different. It's completely different field that if you haven't done it before, you wouldn't understand it. So having you that understands that world, that you came from it and are still in it, you understand it well, that you're speaking the same language. So you understand all the rules of the game, and that helps a lot because, again, you just understand. It's not something I have to like keep you up to speed with. You're already there. You're in that world, and potentially, could possibly know a lot more than me in a lot of areas.
In terms of results, in terms of getting more specific into numbers,
Okay.
I know that Dana Beach at that time was struggling with with sales and kind of, of course, kind of restarting again and getting to the goals that you guys had in terms of sales. What are the numbers looking like now this year?
So specifically in the Dania Beach location, we definitely were struggling when you came on, and what it looks like now because of everything that's been implemented. Again, a lot of variables, but a lot of help from Breath and everything that you've done. We've seen a 31% increase from last year. So that's obviously significant. It's definitely the highest in all of our locations, and that's a lot to do with everything that you've been doing.
How do you feel like that our work has impacted not only, of course, your business, because we've spoken to that now, but what about you personally, like your life? Have we made it, some impact in that because of this, our relationship and how we work together?
Just because my title is Director of Sales and Marketing does not mean that I am all knowing on things marketing. So having somebody that I can direct, but that knows much more than me when it comes to that, it's very freeing because it's not all just on me. I'm not responsible for all of that knowledge because you are, and because I'm trusting you guys to do it. Also, our relationship is very easy. The fantastic thing that I have seen about working with you guys is you have your absolute, your knowledge and your ways that you feel things should be done or could be done, but you're always very open to listen to my opinion. So it's very much a partnership and it's a team, whereas it's not everything is on me to tell you exactly the direction, or everything is just your decisions and I'm yielding to them. There's a partnership there that together I feel like we're working to a goal and not just either of us sitting on the sidelines of something that's going on, whether it's all you the work or all me the work. It's very much together, but with a lot on you in terms of what goes on all the time. And so it frees me up a lot, which is fantastic to worry about other things and do other things. We do have a weekly meeting, which is fantastic. It's always good to have that communication there. That's really important. But yes, of course, it frees me up so much to do all the other things that are required of me in having 5 locations.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time.
You're very welcome.
We appreciate that.